Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Drams Delivered. Here we are again, another bottle, another month, and I hope you guys enjoyed the last couple. We had some really special whiskey there from Daft Mill and Arran American, and this one is maybe not as rare, but we thought it's good in its own way, and we'll kind of talk you through what we've got. So I guess without further ado, I'll maybe pass over to John to introduce what we've got.
Yeah, so we're going to be trying an Arran today, which is, I think, an absolutely fantastic distillery, which is maybe a little bit overlooked. You won't find it in, a lot of the supermarkets and things like that, but the way that they do things, I really think is fantastic. So we're going to be trying Arran Amarone, which is non-chill filtered. It is a natural colour, which is unbelievable, I think. It's a beautiful red colour, this one, and it's bottled at 50%. So a little bit about the history of Arran. They were founded in 1995, which is quite an unusual time, really, in whiskey, after the sort of whiskey loch of the 1980s when loads of distilleries shut down. Arran was one of the first sort of new distilleries and one of the very few that were founded in the 90s. So they now have stock which is in the 20s. They recently released a 25-year-old. But the one that we're going to be trying today is a non-age statement, and it's matured in Amarone casks, or finished in the casks. So it'll be in ex-bourbon casks, and then it spends some time in Amarone casks. So
Arran,
what is Amarone?
Before we go into Amarone,
Yeah.
there's 2 distilleries at Arran, is there not?
There are now. So when Arran was founded in 1995, there were no distilleries on Arran, so the distillery was called the Isle of Arran Distillery. But the company has now actually opened a second distillery on the other side of the island called Lag, L-A-G-G. So the Arran distillery is now called Lochranza Distillery, but they still produce Arran single malt.
Clear as mud.
Clear as mud, and you can't get Lag yet because it's not released. But
Got you.
There we go.
And just before we talk about the dram, actually, there was quite a nice little story about in the building process of Arran. And during the process, they came across a pair of nesting eagles, and they had to stop production or construction, I should say, because obviously they're protected species. And I quite like Arran have actually embraced that and thought that was a good thing. So You'll see on their bottle they have a pair of golden eagles beside the still. So that's the story there. They kind of got in the way, but they've become the kind of emblem
The mascot of the distillery, if you like.
Of their distillery.
These 2 eagles.
I think we've maybe touched enough of the history. That's maybe it's my turn to pop.
I think it's your turn to go for the pop.
Great. I think last month was a wet one.
It was a little bit, yeah.
So let's see about this month.
Ooh.
That was good.
I liked that one.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Right, now, I love this bottle, but not the easiest to pour from.
It's
They've had a rebrand, actually. And actually, I really like the shelf presence, the style. I think it looks modern, but it's got braille on it. It's just nice little touches.
Lots of nice little things. There's the coordinates of the distillery on the side of the cork. I don't know if you can see there. Lots of nice wee things that just draw you to the bottle.
Yeah. So, first thing I noticed when I pour that is the colour. It is a beautiful, beautiful red colour. As John kind of mentioned there, that this whiskey has been finished in Amarone cask. So Amarone, personally for me, is my favourite red wine. It's Italian red wine. And it's a process where they pick grapes and then they let them dry. It's about 120 days, I think they let them dry.
It's a long time.
And they kind of raisinate, it's called. So they dry out and kind of all the sugars kind of condense. But I call it Amarone, but there is an Italian proper way to say it, which is...
Well, it's the full name is Amarone della Valpolicella.
Short straw, but nailed it.
from the Veneto region of Italy. So big and bold.
Yeah, it means the bitter one.
Means the bitter one, but it's normally actually quite a sweet wine. That was to differentiate it from Recioto. I'm not quite sure.
Which was a really like a sherry style, wasn't it?
Super sweet wine.
Yeah.
But as Matt said, the sort of process, they dry the grapes, all the sugars concentrate, and more sugar means more alcohol. So the minimum strength for an Amarone is 14%, and it's not unheard of to see them at sort of 16%, which for red wine is, you know, pretty up there.
Pretty up there.
So expect a headache about half an hour after drinking a glass.
And a big bill. It's not a cheap
and a big
wine.
bill.
It
yeah,
is your
it's
minimum 20, 30 quid for a good bottle of Amarone.
Yeah.
So we're going on about wine here, but the reality is that Arran have bought casks that previously held this wine. So when you put whiskey in a cask that's previously held a different spirit, that will interact and impart flavours of what it's previously held. I think the most notable thing in this one is the colour. This is natural colour. Not every whiskey is natural colour. Some whiskey companies will add E105 or caramel colouring. Pretty much their argument is it's for consistency. So when you look at a shelf, they'll all be the same colour. But I think we both agree that we think it's not great.
It's kind of cheating in a way. And if you're a big producer producing tens of millions of bottles, of course you need consistency, but I would much rather buy whiskey from a relatively small producer like Arran, who are doing things the way that I think they should be done. You know, not chill filtering, so the texture's there. It's a lovely thick dram, no colouring, and it's bottled at a pretty healthy 50%. So actually, I would recommend a little bit of water with this one. Definitely helps to sort of open up the flavours. I don't know about you, but I'm getting sort of like Turkish delight, maybe
Lots
even
of red fruits,
rose petals, that sort of thing. Rose water, if you've ever had rose water, I think it's definitely quite floral.
Yeah. Let's have a taste.
Lovely and fruity.
Do you know, it wears its clothes well. When I say that about, I mean the alcohol strength, that's 50%. But that is, for me, quite delicate.
Very drinkable, I would say.
Very drinkable. One thing you touched on there is non-chill filtered.
Yes. So I think we might have touched on this in previous episodes, but chill filtration is basically, if you've ever had a bottle of olive oil and it's been left in the cold and you see all the fats in the oil condense and it just looks cloudy, it doesn't look quite right, and you're not quite sure if it's still safe to use. That happens with whiskey. There are fats in whiskey, and if you leave whiskey in the cold for too long, or if it drops below a certain temperature, those fats will sort of cling together and the solids will congeal. Now, that's fine if you're a little bit knowledgeable about whiskey and you know that that's going to happen and you know there's nothing wrong with it. But if you're in quite a hot country and you're adding whiskey to a glass full of ice and that happens, you might be a bit taken aback and you might be a bit shocked and think, this whiskey's off, there's something wrong with it, I don't want it, send it back. So that's why a lot of companies who, you know, are global brands when it comes to whiskey would chill filter their whiskey. Now, what they would tell you is that it makes absolutely no difference to the flavour or the texture of the whiskey. I think that scientifically is just not possible because you're stripping the whiskey of something. So chill filtration works by cooling the whiskey to about 4 degrees and passing it through a very fine filter to get rid of all those sort of fats and solids. If you're taking something out, there's no way that the end product can be the same as if you hadn't taken that out. So when we talk about non-chill filtered, the texture, the lovely sort of heaviness, thickness of the whiskey is retained. And that's really, I think, the way whiskey should be. Yep.
I was really enjoying that little less non-chill filtration, a little bit of water in my dram.
A little bit
this is
lovely. Of a rant there.
I quite enjoyed it.
As you can tell, we feel quite strongly about these things. So yeah, I'll maybe end
No,
on that
that
note,
was perfect. I really enjoyed it. I learned a little bit there as well. So, Arran is, we have a little shop on drams delivered now as well. So, unfortunately, we couldn't offer the Daft Mill and Arden American due to their rarity. We will be able to offer this to you guys if you'd like a bottle. And thanks for supporting the club. It's been great. We've had lovely feedback from you and lots of nice comments. Yeah. So, we're really enjoying doing it. So,
and we hope you guys are enjoying it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please let us know. Let us know what you think of this. Let us know what you think of previous releases. Let us know what you'd like to see in the future as well, because at the end of the day, it's your club and we want to give you the whiskey you want. So let us know.
Absolutely. Well, cheers. Enjoy, Arran.
Cheers, everyone. Enjoy.
We'll see you next month.
Until next time.